What's going on, everybody? It's Groovers here. Today we're going to go ahead and look at Chaos Theory mode here on Jurassic World Evolution 2. As you can see in the front of the screen here, we do have 17% on Chaos Theory. We just tried it out a little bit to see how difficult it was, and it turns out it's really not that bad. We also played around with the challenge mode here a little bit. We're up to 20%. We did 4 out of the 5 parks here just on easy, just to kind of get the feel for it, get the feet wet there. We're going to bring some videos here about challenge mode in a little bit, trying to get some higher difficulties. We did try out Jurassic difficulty, which is the highest one. It was pretty difficult, so we definitely need to fine-tune a couple of things. But today's video is going to go ahead and showcase Chaos Theory. There are 5 different parks, as there are 5 different movies here associated with Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. So there's one for each movie here. Each of them does have a difficulty per se. Here on Jurassic Park, it has a 2 out of 5 stars, as you can see. The hardest one being Jurassic World. It says it's a 5 out of 5. Jurassic Park San Diego is a 4. Isla Nublar is a 4. And Isla Sorna is a 3. So technically, Jurassic Park is the easiest one. We did most of it just to kind of see how difficult it was, and it wasn't really too bad. So I think 2 stars is pretty accurate for this one. We haven't tried any of these other ones, as you can see, but we're going to go ahead and showcase Jurassic Park here on Chaos Theory. I was actually a big fan of it, so we're going to go ahead and start it here from scratch.
The mosquito.
Go ahead and show it off.
Time for millions of years, and trapped within it, well, that discovery would change our world. For a while, we thought that this was as close as we could get to dinosaurs. Turns out, we were wrong. Years of research into how to complete the DNA sequence for a dinosaur led us to this. Life unlike anything seen on this planet for 65 million years. Jurassic Park. We know how well that went, but what if someone like you had been there to temper some of that rampant hubris? For Jurassic Park to succeed, you're going to need to make sure it's safe for all your guests. This is the adventure of their lifetime. We don't want it to be their last.
Wonderful, isn't it? This is a paradise, but it is missing what it once had. Until we bring them back, this place will show people something spectacular. Dinosaurs, no longer confined to our imaginations. Dinosaurs in the flesh. And the moment people see them, that moment of astonishment, of magic, well, you're going to be a part of that spectacle. Jurassic Park will open on schedule, and the world will be as it once was, a land of the dinosaurs. Ah, good. Glad to see you're getting settled in. I want to introduce you to Lily Halford, who is our Director of Operations here at the park. She'll get you up to speed.
Thank you, Dr. Hammond.
John, please.
Oh, right then. As Dr. Hammond, John, has already told you, our goal is to get Jurassic Park fully operational as quickly and safely as we can. We are literally doing things that were considered impossible, so it will be a challenge.
All right, so you do start with about $22 million here, a very fair amount of cash. First thing we gotta do is go ahead and just listen to the overview there, pretty easy. And then it literally tells you what to do step by step here, which is something I really like. You know, this is the first one, so it's a little bit difficult when you're starting out, but once you get the hang of it, it becomes pretty easy here.
Do carry on.
We'll keep you updated.
Splendid. Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and build both a visitor center and a science center. Those are both under operations there. It gives you two preloaded blue boxes here. You can go ahead and pick whichever one you want to use. It's up to you.
Jurassic Park has a top geneticist. Top.
Next step is to go ahead and research a hatchery. So we're going to do that. Click on the Science Center, go to Research.
I'm settled in and ready to get started.
And right there is the hatchery. You do come with 4 scientists to kind of start off here. Each of them have different skills. You see this one has 250, 241, 610, and 115. So each of them have kind of a different skill set here. So make sure to monitor that later. And you can speed up time here, again, by pressing the middle button on the controller and clicking R1 twice here to go to ×3 speed. Rather than just wait it out, go ahead and speed it up. And we need to go ahead and then construct the hatchery. And it gives you another blue box here, easy enough to put it right in right there. You can always fix this path later, but you do need to connect the path just to the main part of the park. And again, we're going to speed up time here. Every time we have a task that we're just kind of waiting for, we're going to speed it up just a little bit.
Velociraptors. Yes.
And the first dinosaur it wants us to go ahead and create is the very well-known Velociraptor. They were very popular in the first movie here. Definitely made a bang. They chased around a couple of people, ate a couple of people, so it was really good.
The results the moment you have them.
Alright, and we go ahead and try to synthesize a Velociraptor, and it actually fails. By default in this first mission here, you fail the incubation, so go ahead and discard those eggs since they did not work out. And we got to listen to Dr. Henry Wu here. We do have to remember that this is the very first movie. Dr. Wu was just a scientist at this point. He didn't have a big part in the movie whatsoever. I think you saw him whenever they first made one of the Velociraptors for about maybe 2 minutes or so. That's all the screen time he had. He becomes a bigger character later here in the series, but he only had about 2 minutes of screen time here in that first movie. Next step is improved synthesis. Go ahead and take care of that. And now it kind of gives you the option to play around with a little bit more of the things on the panel over here. Whenever we first started this mode, we only had options for like 2 of them, but now it kind of opens it up once you start to get going here. We are eventually going to go ahead and need these other operations, but you do need to go ahead and research them first. You're unable to build them, as you can see. And now it wants us to go ahead and try again, the Velociraptor.
I'm not sure we're ready.
Every precaution has been taken. I'm following the science, and these dinosaurs are our best chance at success. We've learned so much, and we'll continue to learn as we move forward.
Yes, yes, of course. And I do understand your concern, Ms. Halford.
And while those Velociraptors are incubating there, I would highly recommend trying to build some of these buildings while that's being taken care of here, just to kind of double up, save yourself some time.
Happily within their enclosures, and you shall have my eternal gratitude.
Dr. Hammond, does that mean we have your authorization to proceed?
Yes, most enthusiastically.
We actually got 5 Velociraptors out of this batch, 5 for 5, so that's pretty cool there. Whenever I did my test trial, I only got 2, but we'll take 5 here. We did research a staff center here while those were being built. We're going to go ahead and put this in the back of the park here. Your scientists are eventually going to go ahead and need some rest. Don't want to overwork them. And they are ready for release, so we'll go ahead and release them into this pre-made enclosure already as the game gives it to you. And there they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Velociraptors here on this video. And they actually look pretty accurate to the first movie. That is pretty spot on. The 6th movie is coming out later this year here in 2022, and one of the raptors actually had feathers on them, which was pretty cool. More scientifically accurate, but this is pretty much exactly what they look like in the first movie, so that was really cool to see, that they did it exactly what they look like in the movie. You do want to make sure that your dinosaurs are always comfortable at all times. Go ahead and click on the dinosaur, specifically the Velociraptor here. It needs water, prey, and forest. So you don't want them to be mad, or else they're going to break out and terrorize your guests. I always start with water. Easy enough there. They're going to need some prey. Right there. And they needed forest. That should be sufficient. We'll check it out. And it is. They're good to go. They have enough water, prey, open space, and forest. You could put more forest if you wanted to. They're only at 40%. They only require about 36 or so. Now it updated as they kind of go through the enclosure, but no need to put extra forest in there. It's only going to cost you money. So the next steps are go ahead and build a couple of these key buildings here. We're going to need a response facility. Go ahead and build a ranger post. Put that inside the enclosure. Make sure to connect the path there. And once it's all set up, go ahead and click on your ranger team and assign them to the Velociraptor enclosure. Check, check, check. All good to go there. Periodically, you're going to have to go ahead and fill up your fuel here on these generators. Just go ahead and click on X there, resupply, and fill it up. So you don't have to worry about it for a long time.
Check on the raptor's welfare, and remember, they're still getting.
Next step's to go ahead and build. Go ahead and build a viewing gallery here, just to make sure that you can see the Velociraptors.
And educational value in the park. If our visitors cannot see our
you can kind of put it wherever you want around the enclosure. It's your choice. There's just a really nice straight line here on this specific map, so I just connected it straight up to this predetermined path already. I honestly kind of like that idea because they're going to arrive here in the park once we get there. They're going to just go ahead and walk straight, walk straight, walk straight. And right in front of them, right in the center, is going to be these 5 Velociraptors. That's going to be the highlight of the park, at least for right now.
Yes. Now
So I just connected it right to this path here, but you can always put it anywhere along the outside. It's your choice.
We need to get a paleo-medical facility in place to ensure any sick or injured dinosaurs can be taken care of.
That's a good idea. We need to keep our dinosaurs healthy.
Anytime one of your dinosaurs gets sick, you're going to go ahead and need to utilize the paleo-medical facility. So next step here is go ahead and build that. It's one of those core buildings that you have on every single map. It's under operations. Next step is to go ahead and get an expedition center and figure out how to build a Triceratops. I'm not really a big fan of this water it places at the beginning of the map, so I'm going to go ahead and clear this out real quick.
We can extract DNA
just to give
from these
yourself a
new
little bit more
fossils
space.
gathered in the field and rebuild an even more
There
diverse
we
set
go.
of dinosaur genome sequences.
So in order to go ahead and fly
This
out
should
and
be
find more
working
fossils
out.
here, gonna need to build an expedition center. Connect the path, and you're good to go. The current objective wants us to go ahead and incubate a Triceratops, so don't worry about these other formations here. They come into play a little bit later. Find one that has the Triceratops. It's going to be this one for USA. And I think that's it, actually. Just the one. Oh, there's two. There's another one up at the top here. So either one of these two hold the Triceratops, and that's it. So take your pick. And this is a good reminder to go ahead and make sure you utilize the correct scientists. By default, it's going to give you a couple of traits here per scientist. We're currently doing an expedition, so it just behooves us to go ahead and use a scientist that has a trait associated to that. Song here, the top one, the first woman here, she has faster expeditions, so by default, it's going to take off 50% of the time. So it's only going to take 1 minute and 12 seconds rather than double of that normally, which would be almost about 2.5 minutes. So make sure to utilize the correct scientist there to quickly take care of your tasks. We're going to go ahead and speed it up here. Just going to do some research in the background just to kind of help out the game a little bit later. It's not required to. It will later prompt you to go ahead and build some of these things, but while we have some downtime here, waiting for those fossils to come back, you might as well double up and take care of some extra stuff. The fossils have returned, so now we can go ahead and view them. Anytime you go on an expedition, you're either going to get actual fossils here to utilize to get your genome up, or you're going to get something that sells for cash. So this mineral is going to sell for 40,000. Just go ahead and click X and you're good to go there. And we actually have to wait a second on that. The research that we were doing actually took away the scientists we needed to go ahead and take care of that. So pause for just a second here. Now we're good to go. And while we have that staff center, make sure to rest your scientists here periodically. Pay attention to the unrest bar in the middle there. It's getting a little bit high here for these two, so I'm going to go ahead and rest them. Give them a day off, or at least a couple hours.
Release a new herbivore into an enclosure. I want to observe these animals in the wild. I mean, as wild as we will allow.
So you're going to go ahead and release a Triceratops here eventually. But we definitely don't want to put them with the raptors. They're not going to mesh very well by any capacity. So we're going to build a separate enclosure here just to kind of house them. And we still don't have enough scientists for this anyways. They're resting right now. So we're going to go ahead and build the enclosure here. Let's go up to enclosures, fences, and go ahead and take your pick. You can either put them kind of in the front or on the side over here, or over here by your main buildings. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and place them over here, kind of by the Velociraptors. You can actually connect the fence if you wanted to. Can I kick them on the corner here? It's up to you. You don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there we go. That'll be big enough for them. And the scientists have now recovered. They had their sleep, their rest. So let's go ahead and take care of these guys. And we do have one scientist that's been a little overworked here lately, so make sure to periodically take care of that. And we do need one more staff member. We don't have enough. 5 out of 6 here, so we need to wait for that one to finish resting. So we're going to get 4 Triceratops out of this here. Just going to take care of some research here while I have a little bit of downtime. All right, and they are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and pause it here real quick. We did build the Triceratops. Go ahead and make them rather than build. They're not a building. In the enclosure with the Velociraptors. Whenever you release a dinosaur, you can either go ahead and release them right into the enclosure that it's connected to, so they would walk right in to this one with the Velociraptors, or there's an option to hit square there, release via airlift. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tell them to drop them, hey, drop them over here, rather than put them in the actual enclosure that it's built onto. So here's kind of the helicopter's going to come in and take care of that. You do not need to build a hatchery onto every single enclosure. That's going to save you some money. It costs $250,000 per hatchery. So you don't need to have one on every single enclosure. It's up to you if you'd like to. They do take up a fair amount of space here, as you can see. And you could just go ahead and build them here and just release them via airlift. So my recommendation is you definitely don't need to build a hatchery on every single enclosure. It's just not necessary. It does take a little bit of time, though, as you can see. If you release them into the enclosure, they walk right out, good to go. Airlift, they have to take care of it one at a time, so you're going to just have to wait a little bit, but that's okay. We have a couple of things to do anyways here. We did an efficiency upgrade here, so each of these buildings should have an upgrade available now. Take care of that.
Asset has been delivered.
Take care of that. And improved yield. That's great. So every time we go on an expedition, we're going to bring back more fossils here.
We don't lose sight of our reason for being on the island in the first place.
So we just have to make sure these Triceratops are happy and healthy in the enclosure. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. They need ground fiber. They have a little bit of water here, so that'll take care of that. They're going to need some ground fiber.
I want you to be sure that our dinosaurs are as comfortable as possible.
Ground fiber right here. Just place it everywhere in the enclosure.
Asset transportation complete.
And now they are content. They're good to go. There's an objective later here. We're going to skip ahead just a little bit. There's an objective later where you need to have 5 dinosaurs visible on a park tour. So I'm just going to go ahead and build it in the Triceratops enclosure here. So we're going to build just, or synthesize, might I say, not build, just one more Triceratops.
Dr. Wu and Dr. Hammond would both like us to increase the diversity of animals.
And there it is right there. Build a functioning park tour and make sure that 5 dinosaurs are viewable from the tour. We also need to increase the dinosaur species to 4. So you're going to need to go ahead and do some expeditions here just to find some more fossils to be able to build some more dinosaurs here. So the easiest one is going to be this one. It's a pretty hard name to pronounce, but it starts you off at 42%. It's one of the smallest dinosaurs available. They're very easy, very quick. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that first. And we only want 1 Triceratops here. I mean, we could do 2. It's not going to hurt anything. So we do have to wait until this expedition is taken care of. We don't have enough skill with the scientists that we have to go ahead and take care of this at the moment. Sell these 2 for cash. So that'll be good for them. We're going to need 1 more species, though. It's up to you which one you want to do. It gives you the option of a couple here. We have 1 herbivore right there. There is a carnivore here somewhere. Right there, a Dilophosaurus. You could do them if you want. Actually, there are a couple over here. I didn't even check earlier. Another Velociraptor. I'm just going to stick with the herbivores right now. They're going to be the easiest to maintain. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of this one right here. And we are going to need another enclosure. We're going to go ahead and pause on that enclosure real quick just to get rid of this last Triceratops. We're going to airlift it over here.
Requiring collection. Heading to collect the asset.
You do need to do a tour ride, which does require some research here. We're going to go ahead and take care of that. A couple of the scientists were a little bit disgruntled. Not quite yet, but we're just going to go ahead and rest them right now anyways. We've got that research going. We still have to build this other enclosure here, so that's kind of a good time to go ahead and double up. As you can see, I'm building a very, very large enclosure here. I'm going to put 2 of these dinosaurs into the same enclosure. The one requires a lot of space. They like a lot of open area for whatever reason. I guess they're very territorial. So we're going to build a very massive enclosure here.
Delivery complete. Asset transportation underway. Transportation complete.
All right, they're all good to go now. Let's go ahead and arrest that one scientist there. We're actually probably going to need a bigger enclosure than what we have right now, so we're actually going to go ahead and build this out a little bit more. Hopefully that's sufficient. If it's not, we can always make it a little bit larger later. All right, and the ones ready for release here, again, we're not going to let them go right into the Velociraptor pen. They would just go ahead and eat them up. So we're going to go ahead and airlift these guys over to this new enclosure over here.
Picking up asset. Collecting asset.
And the second one here is good to go. Gives us 5. We still need to take care of that park tour, so we intentionally built 5 actually we have 6 now, 6 Triceratops over in this location. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the tour ride onto this one right here. Honestly, this was probably the most difficult part about this, was fixing up this tour ride. It's a little bit wonky to try to take care of here. So if you've ever built the monorail, it's kind of like that, but just kind of through the park rather than through the air. It's really easy to build a monorail. You could just go over everything, but this tour ride's a little bit more tricky to deal with here. And you can't go in water, apparently.
Assets in the air.
So we're going to get rid of some of this water. And we actually never built a ranger post here for these Triceratops, so we don't know if they're doing okay. We don't know if they're hungry, they're happy, they're healthy, so we're going to assign this team over here to them to take care of that. And we'll continue building this track.
Commencing asset transit. Asset delivery confirmed.
And there we go. So the park tour is operational, and there's the traditional car from the first movie there. And what's cool about this is you can actually go ahead and ride in the park tour. So you can actually physically go in the car, go for a little spin here. It looks like we're in car number 5 apparently. And along the ride you can actually see the dinosaurs. So this is something pretty cool about this mission here. It wants you to go ahead and build this park tour, and you actually get to see the dinosaurs and go in it yourself. So that's pretty cool right there. I just built it around the whole outside of the enclosure. You can kind of do whatever you want, but that's just what I chose to do here. Looks like they're playing right there with each other. So back to kind of the main part of the mission here. We did need to build 2 other species of dinosaurs. We have these guys over here, and they need some water and some ground leaf, but that's an easy fix. We'll put the water... Oh, we're on remove. Put the water over here. And they're going to need some ground leaf. That should hopefully take care of them, and it does. They're actually, nope, a little bit of forest. A little bit of forest is needed, but that's okay. Now they should be good to go. And they are. So that's 3 species down, 3 of them all comfortable. We do have this last one here pretty much ready to go. We're going to go ahead and airlift them over here. This is what I did in my test trial, and what I'm obviously doing on this one here. You can build a separate enclosure for these guys if you want to, but you can actually put them together in the same one. So that's just what I did.
Of course. We're on top of it, Dr. Hammond.
I'm going to go ahead and build a viewing gallery over here. Actually, see if we can put it...
They'll get us a diagnosis, and then we can develop a cure for the Triceratops.
Perfect. We have
we'll worry about that later.
That means
actually, right
under
here.
control. This doesn't even qualify as a minor setback.
It's not really going to show a lot of the area, but we're just going to need to have them be visible. That's all.
I'm inclined to agree. Whatever it takes, see to it. And Henry, let me know the moment this has been resolved.
Understood.
Lily, do carry on.
Thank you. As Dr. Wu said, everything is under control.
And something we actually forgot to do here is to build some gates. So these guys can't get into the enclosure without having an available gate. So I'll put a gate right there. And we'll put a gate... Nope, it's not letting us do it. We'll put it over here.
Asset being transported. Asset transported.
So since we didn't really check up on a Triceratops here, the game can't register which of the dinosaurs are diseased, but it actually ends up going to be these guys here. So once our ranger team gets in there, they're going to do a status check and kind of figure out which one is sick. So right there it is. It's going to be one of these other ones as well, but they have an undiagnosed ailment, so we're going to go ahead to our MVU.
Transit has commenced.
Go ahead and add tasks there.
Asset has been delivered.
We'll speed that up. And we'll take a look at these guys over here.
Asset in transit.
They need a little bit of ground nut. They do have enough open space. They're going to need some ground nut. So we'll just edit the environment a little bit here, add in some ground nut, and they should be good to go.
Delivery complete.
And they have ivy poisoning, so just if you can actually go ahead and just click L3 like I did there very quickly, and it'll take care of that. So these guys are good to go now, but you do have to make sure you check on the guys that were there first. Make sure they're doing all right, and they are. They barely have enough for us, but hey, 33% is exactly what they need, so we're not going to complain there. They are good to go.
Asset transportation complete.
Scientists are doing okay. They're not overworked right now. Alright, now that we researched the ivy poisoning, we can go ahead and have our mobile vet unit here, the MVU, go ahead and cure our dinosaurs, so they're no longer poisoned with ivy. Take care of that, assign them over, speed up time. Alright, and this is the part we're looking for right here. Once you complete all of these first couple of missions, take care of the velociraptors,
More miraculous. Bringing the dinosaurs
build a
back
park
from
tour,
extinction
get your
before
triceratops,
opening Jurassic
get
Park
2 other
to the public.
species. I chose both of these herbivores over here, just because they're friendly. They're not going to try to hurt anybody or anything. You can also put them in the same enclosure. You could have built just one of the herbivores and one of the carnivores available, but it's just your personal preference, your choice there.
And now,
So the next step is to go ahead and open up the park. Open up Jurassic Park officially. So how to go ahead and do that is go all the way to the top here to the arrival point and click X and open up the park officially. So now guests are able to go ahead and fly in here,
come on,
go ahead and come in the park
Bye bye.
and check out what's going on.
Welcome.
We do get a little bit of a cutscene here.
Park.
So far, Jurassic
And
Park
we're going to
has
go ahead
been
and cut it here for part
qualified
1
success.
of the video. We officially have the park open. The next steps are just kind of go ahead and increase your guest comfort and then ultimately get a 5-star park, kind of make it a little bit better there. So that's going to be it for session 1 here, part 1 of Jurassic Park Chaos Theory. Stay tuned for part 2. We're going to go ahead and finish out the mission, build some restrooms, build some food places, build some hotels and all that good stuff. And we're going to go ahead and finish off Chaos Theory here on Jurassic Park, and then we've got 4 more to go. So stay tuned for part 2. If you did enjoy this video here, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.